Alrighty, we are live from Cabot, Arkansas, and this is answering your financial questions with Coach Steve Money. And if we've got sound, we do. What up, Aslan? Thank you so much for joining, as always, much appreciated. As well as anybody else that's watching this live or watches later. I'm very humbled by your attention. Let me do some plugs. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and so if you go to that main page and scroll down, you can find my other financial content, this playlist, the stream, answering your financial questions, and the Ramsey Show after show, and there will be 2 of those coming up this week. Through the month of September, we'll be doing that Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, when the Ramsey Show goes to the network app off of YouTube. And then the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, so listen to those if you're so inclined. And let's get to the questions. I'm still letting the Reddit fill up. It's been slow for questions on Reddit. They haven't had that many. So letting those fill up, and we'll probably get back into the Reddit questions for the after show on this Tuesday. What would that be? That would be the 24th of September. And these questions are from the Facebook group that is run by Ramsey Solutions, and that is the Ramsey Baby Steps community, and that is the only one. There's many on there, but that's the only one that is run by Ramsey Solutions. So let's get going. For all you cash-loving Dave fans, what do you guys all do with your change? Coinstar takes a big percentage. And hand rolling seems ridiculous. Thanks. Okay, let's see. We got some. These are user comments. Use it as a self-checkout at Walmart or the grocery store, and that's exactly what I do if I ever accidentally get some change from anywhere. That's exactly what I do it, and that gets rid of it. Let's see, and another person said we put ours in a cash jar at home as part of the emergency stash. If we ever need to get into it, we hand count what we need. It's a good reminder to stay humble. All right, and what I'm going to say about this, hand rolling seems ridiculous. You are out of your mind. It does not take that long to roll and count coins. Your time is what you have a lot of. You have that. So unless you're working to get further down the baby steps, then you rolling those coins is how you can chip in. Okay? So don't be whiny. Hate the whininess. Somebody's sharing their, I guess it's their actual license plate. No Debt 1. Right, and next question is, our son is 15 and just got his first W-2 job. He is wanting to save 25% of his pay. He does not have the option to put money in retirement with this employer until he is 18. Yep. What is the best option to maximize the savings? Hard to say what baby steps since he doesn't have full adult expenses, right? He has no debt, already has a car paid for in cash, 6 months expenses saved for his cell, gas, and insurance. That's all he's paying. And a decent amount of college savings that should cover 1.5 to 2 years tuition from previous work mowing lawns and picking up after dogs over the years. All ideas are welcome. Well, for teenagers and young adults, the advice is just to pile up cash. Now, the 1.5 to 2 years of tuition is great, but he's going to need more. Obviously, can try to get grants and scholarships, but you would save the money so that you can move out as well, move out of the house and live on his own once he is 18. Mr. Ramsey is a big fan of adults not living with their parents, but also, again, mostly the college, and of course, a real 6 months emergency fund for when he moves out. And so the advice is to not lock it up in some kind of savings. High yield savings is fine, but you wouldn't want to put it in the market in anything that it's going to be locked up, or even like a CD or anything, which Dave wouldn't recommend rent anyway. But you wouldn't want it behind a penalties and taxes thing. Sorry, fixing the mic. And so the for adults, young adults, excuse me, and teenagers, the advice is just to pile up that cash. And you can put it in a high yield savings account, and that's going to be the most you can do. The kids and young adults, they always want to start investing, and that's great. But the problem is, what if you need that money? You may need that money for some kind of young adult thing, like moving out, like making sure you get out of college debt free, and then your investing can start once you get the big boy or big girl job after you're out of college. I just bought my house in February. Rate is 6.125%. When should I refinance? Never. Just pay it off early. People always want to refinance to save interest possibly, but if you pay it off earlier than the mortgage term, especially if you got a freaking 30-year mortgage, which you shouldn't have gotten, and so that you may have too much house there, but regardless, paying that off in like 10 years is going to cut a lot of that interest off. And so that's what you should be focusing on, although you can do the math at any time if you're going to reach the break-even point at some time, because refinancing is not free. They charge you a fee for that, and so that fee, basically, that's adding on to the house debt, and so you would eventually make that back with interest rate savings if it's enough and you have enough of the mortgage left. But I don't need these anymore. So yeah, so you don't ever have to do it, but you can check anytime you want to as far as when your break-even point will be. Like if your break-even point is going to be in, say, 4 or 5 years, and you can pay it off in 6, why bother? Here we go again. Just pay it off even faster. Here we go again. Baby step 1, check. Okay, I had to start again, I guess. Pay off Lowe's and Sam's Club credit card. Check. Okay. Now working to pay off the Home Depot. Is that $1,106, and Best Buy $2,400. Okay. Well, if you say here do we go again, how did that happen? Or did the baby step 1 start emergency fund have to go somewhere? And you already had this debt, hopefully, because if not, you're doing a fail on baby step 0, which part of that is deciding you're going to pay off all your dumb, stupid debt, and you're not going to take out any more dumb, stupid debt for the rest of your life, except maybe a house, a mortgage for a house you live in. Oh, let's see. There was no words with this, just a picture. Christmas 2024, and this is chilly. It's Celsius. I was going to say, this is a lot chillier than I'd be able to handle, but it's Celsius, so it might be from the bloody UK. And so this is how you tell your family, I guess mostly the kids. It's if you turn that way, you get fewer presents. If you turn it that way, more presents. So I guess this would be somewhere that's hot then. Because if you're turning it, oh no, you turn it this way, makes it hotter. Yeah, so I'm right. And then if you turn it that way, wait a minute. Yeah, that way it makes it cooler. So unless that's for the heat. So I'm confused now. And since this is December or September when they posted this, I believe it should be getting cooler even in the bloody UK and wherever else. There's a lot of places where there's Celsius. So I am a little bit confused about that now. Maybe they got confused when they were drawing it and mixed up the sides. Because if you turn it that way, the temperature in the house will get higher. If you turn it to fewer presents. So maybe that's for summer. I don't know. Don't know. J-Ack? Question mark? Which question mark? About? What's question? I enjoy questions. Okay, I'm in baby step 6. My only debt is my mortgage. I owe $86,000 on it. Make approximately $6,500 a month, and I have a $1,350 alimony. Okay. I'm torn between paying big on the mortgage or saving more. Well, let's break it down here. Well, let me finish it. I'll finish it first, and then we'll break it down. I have $15,000 in savings and would like to build it to $20,000 before I start paying big mortgage payments. Your thought, please. Thank you. Pray your hands. Well, what I'm praying is that you understand the baby steps, which you don't. So let's assume that you are on steps 4, 5, and 6, and that you are investing, and if applicable, you are saving a little bit for kids' college. At least the younger they are, the smaller the amount you have to start saving per month. But then you start paying off the home early, and guess what? You do not have a $20,000 emergency fund, or savings rather. You only have the 3 to 6 months of expenses in your emergency fund. That's all you have. You don't have some big gigantic savings account while you still have a mortgage, because guess what? You are debt leveraging your house to have savings. And so that's not the advice. So you would start paying big payments on that house immediately, and then when you get done with that, you're at step 7, and at that point you can have a $100,000 savings account if you want to. I wouldn't have that much. I would have that money working for me in the market or some other type of investment. So you're doing it wrong. You're understanding the baby steps incorrectly. Hopefully somebody got that person straightened out. Hi, Coach Steve. It's a food budget, but every month I go over by a lot of money, mainly on takeaways such as Uber Eats, Just Eats, Deliveroo. Any tips to help me? Yeah, don't do that. Delete those apps. So you don't do that. If you're on baby step 2, you're not having any restaurant food at all. You don't step foot near one unless you are working inside one as a part-time job or your full-time job, whichever may be the case. So you do not do that is the tip to help you. You do a little thing us adults call self-control, and do not do that. You get your food from the grocery store and you chill out doing that even. People spend too much at the grocery store as well. Food is a big problem. Any other questions, sir? As of today, you don't need to retract your question mark as you did before. You don't need to retract your stuff after you put it in. As of today, the final payment processed, and we are debt-free. $68,000 paid in 9 months. Sold so much on Facebook Marketplace that we got banned for a little while for using it as a business. Wow, I did not know they did that. I mean, that's probably smart of Facebook, but all right. That is a lot. People think I'm moving when they come over. Day nights change from spending money to making money by door dashing together. My kids don't ask for random crap anymore because I said Dave Ramsey won't let me buy that so many times. LOL. But we are finally free on to baby step 3. Fabulous. Fabulous. It'll be worth it to those kids. Those kids will be thanking you later. I'm so tired of this. Just made a payment of $209 to a personal loan, and $6.46 went to the principal. $196.49 was interest. That's a lot of interest. Hey, I got a great idea. Don't take out loans, and then you don't have that problem. This was an additional payment, so I couldn't call the credit union to apply it to the principal. The only way you're going to get that down faster is to make additional payments. Just venting, I guess. This is such a motivation to never borrow money again. You're telling me, because I just gave away $196. Yeah, that's not too smart. I wonder what the debt leverage people would think about that. I'm officially debt-free, just over $60,000 paid off in 2 years. Credit cards, vehicle repossession, consolidation loans, and student loans gone forever. Fabulous. That is excellent. Is Financial Peace University worth the $100? I'm debating on starting it. I'm very hesitant even posting this question due to getting very rude comments the last time I posted something. Well, I mean, this is a fine question. Is it worth the $100? If it helps you buy $100 on the baby steps, if it helps you stick to the budget, if it helps you understand why we weirdos do this stuff, then it's worth every cent if it helps you. So, and also, FPU class can provide camaraderie as well. You do meet other people, other weirdos like yourself doing these exact steps. And so that helps people stay on the steps, stick to the budget, etc., etc. You can meet somebody that you like well enough that you become friends and you become, what's that word called when you keep somebody honest about something? Oh crap, I can't remember. Something buddies, but it's you keeping them honest about something. They can be each other's. What is that word? I guess dementia. I'll think of it in a second, I'm sure. But yeah, it's worth it as if it helps you $100 worth, and there is other information in there other than just talking about the baby steps. There's lessons about insurance. There's lessons about retirement. What else? There's a lesson about market, even about how stores and businesses market to you so that you can be more aware that that is happening to you if you were not. It took 11 months and 20 days, but my wife and I are officially in baby step 3. Excellent. 2 credit cards, 2 car loans, and a student loan paid off. I can't believe that worked out. Awesome. $47,381.22 gone. Excellent. Boo. Aslan would just break down where the money is going, the dollar amounts for your food budget. One option that works is to just use cash for all the food purchases. You can use a weekly envelope system just for food. Accountability partner. Thank you, Aslan. I knew it was one of those words that would have more than two syllables in it. Let's see what else was Jack want now. Coach Steve, should I save my 1,000 bloody pounds first, then do FPU, or should I do it now as I need the FPU teaching? Which should I do? I would probably do the $1,000 emergency fund first. and then do Financial Peace University. You can also take Financial Peace University for free by volunteering to lead a class. And it's very easy. It has instructions with it, tells you exactly what to do. And then you just talk about your experiences and ask other people input on what they're going through, etc., etc. It is very easy. Now, if you don't like the spotlight, don't like attention, it may not be for you, but obviously I had no problem with that since I love attention, except from dumb trolls. But yeah, so I did it twice. I should probably do another one. Maybe after I get moved, I will do another one. All right, if someone is retired and each year they live on only the money that their nest egg produces, what happens for the years that the market ends negatively and the following years? For example, if someone was retired in 2008 when the market took a large downturn, they wouldn't want to pull money from their retirement because they'd eat away their nest egg. I'm also curious about the following years because it wasn't until 2013 that the market recovered to where it had been prior to the large, and that's why the 2008, 2013, 5 years, and that's why you don't use the market as a piggy bank unless you are going to keep that in there for 5 years, because it is less likely to be down over that 5-year period. So if you want to save for 2 or 3 years or even 4, you don't use the market to do that. You just do a high yield savings account for that. Let's see, where it would have been prior to the large dip. So that would leave 5 years where a retiree wouldn't want to take money from their nest egg. But the problem is the retiree needs money to live on. What would the Ramsey plan say that this person is supposed to do? Well, you only, even in the good years, you only take out what you need to live on. You don't like set a number and say, well, I'm going to spend this much. You don't, and then force yourself to spend it. You don't do that. If you're concerned about that, then that's what you need to do. Only take out what you need, and you should make yourself do that if you at all are concerned about this. But what you're supposed to do is not follow every other investor's advice. And do, which it seems a lot of investors do recommend index funds. You're leaving money on the table by doing that. Find good managed funds, and then you make even more than the index. So the answer to this is to make as much in the freaking market as you can, and that means stop playing with debt early and get your freaking full emergency funds, so then you can do the 15% and then pay that house off early, and then you can invest that mortgage payment as well. Make as much as you can for retirement, and that will alleviate all of this. But nobody knows. That's why I say in 4%. Yeah, see, in this exact case, 4% is not going to be freaking enough. So you can't save 4%. Nobody has any idea what things are going to cost in the future when X person retires. Nobody knows. So it's dumb to say 4%. Well, that is the industry standard. Who gives a crap? Nobody knows how much it's going to be. So the answer is to make as much for retirement as you possibly can. And this one is from the Ramsey Baby Steps community. I told you, run by Ramsey Solutions. This is something the administrator posted. And it is a fun announcement according to this. And it's even got the celebratory emojis there, so I'm going to believe it's true. So starting next week, we'll be doing a special series to introduce the Ramsey Solutions personalities. I've heard of them. Each day we'll highlight one personality to get to know them better. We're so excited to hear what they have to share with us. Will you be tuning in with us to meet them? I've already met them on the show, but they may talk about things about themselves that are not thus far known. So that could be interesting. Let's see, how many do we have? We have Rachel, Ken, George, John, and Jake. Right? Yeah. So yeah, one for each of the 5 days. Cool, cool, cool. Again, same answer as earlier, probably. How valuable would you consider the FPU course? I've listened to the podcast on and off for years, but really trying to buckle down and trying to help my wife understand the method as well. Just can't get myself to pay the $99 for the videos. Should we go ahead and buy it or just bypass it and get on a budget? You can start the baby steps anytime you want to. You can get on a budget right now and you can budget that $99 for FPU. And again, if it helps you $99 worth, if any little thing in there, and it only has to be just one little thing that over the course of the rest of your life will save you or make you an additional $99, then it's worth every penny. We just started, myself, I did not take FPU until, like I said, until I coordinated it. So, of course, I may be more familiar with the Ramsey ideals than most people, I would say. Let's see, we just started baby step 2. We have car loan, Bronco Sport with 16K left, $460 a month. Not sure whether to sell it or keep it. Only 34K miles. Any advice, suggestions? Yeah, if you sell it, you get rid of $16,000 worth of debt. Even if you have to borrow, say, your $5,000 underwater on it, then you sell it for what you can get for it, and then you take out a new loan for $5,000, and Dave is fine with that because he is fine with you having a new $5,000 loan if that gets rid of a $16,000 loan. So yeah, I mean, and if you can ask, not sure whether to sell it or keep it, go ahead and sell it. When trying to improve your credit score and paying off old debts, if the creditor offers a settlement, is that an appropriate course of action? I don't want to work against myself. Well, you're in the Facebook group, so I'm sure somebody in there told you we don't give a rat's anyway about credit score. You do not need a credit score for anything in America except for going into more debt. You can buy a house with manual underwriting in America. Supposedly you can't do that in Canada, eh? So if you're in Canada, eh, then advice may be different for there. But in America, you do not need a credit score. So that's a no from Dave, dog. Not going to Hollywood with the credit score. You are working against yourself, worried about your credit score. There's a truck, and it's just a picture somebody posted. I know it ain't pretty, but it's paid for. It looks pretty good to me. Look at that. There's nothing wrong with that at all, at least not that part of it. Look, the tail light works as well. Can't beat that. Looks like there's a... What is that? There's some kind of thing underneath it. Some kind of splash guard or something like that right there. And the tailpipe comes out of it. Decent looking tires as well. Oh, I guess there's a little scratch right there. Unless that's a design. But other than that, it looks perfect to me. Oh, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Robert G. Steve, wife and I take home is $15K a month after retirement comes out. Yeah, you said that yesterday. Our mortgage is $2,700. We pay double payments. Do you think $1,500 a month in fund money is too much? Yes. Pay off the house early. Now, if you have something specific you want to do, like a vacation or something like that, put that in your budget. So, I mean, $15K a month and $1,500, I would still cut it down until the house is paid off. And then on step 7, go crazy, do anything you want on step 7 besides going into a lower baby step. They just announced that the official beginning of the holiday shopping season starts now. 48% plan to buy Christmas gifts before Halloween. 27% plan to go into debt for their purchases. I bet, is that only of the people trying to buy them before Halloween? Because I would think many, many more percentage than 27 are going to go into debt for Christmas. What do all of you plan on doing? Cash on the barrelhead, always. And a lot of time, especially for my son, it's video games. And video games are the cheapest. They are at least the same as Black Friday prices, if not cheaper, Christmas week. And since you download all of the video games these days, even the ones on the consoles, PlayStation and Xbox, you can buy those Christmas week and you just download it. But yeah, cash only. Let's see, Aslan's opinion on Robert G's scenario. If you think seeing the plan visually will help you understand how to use the baby steps plan, then it could be worth taking FPU. Oh, not Robert G. If you already know the baby steps and what you need to do, then just do the plan. Robert G, retracting again. Robert G, are you the same person as J. Ack? The fact that you both retracted stuff unnecessarily is a little bit of a coincidence. Video games aren't like $60 for the disc anymore. No, there's $60 still for the AAA games. For the top of the line games, they can be $60, some of them, or even $70, I think, even in some cases. But you can download them instead. And so that way you don't even have to. They don't have to be in stock at the store. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Just download it. Baby step 2 here. I have a $1,000 emergency fund. Well, you're doing it correctly then. Good job. I travel 160 miles a day round trip. That is not doing it correctly. To and from work. So I need a reliable car. My transmission just went out on my car. I've been trying to save for a cash car, but ended up having to put a couple $1,000s into this car, and it kept setting me back. I just can't get a typical beater because I'm not driving 5 miles down the road. Whose fault is that for taking a job 160 miles round trip away? Or whose fault is that for living 165 miles away from your job? That would be your fault. You chose that. Let's see. I don't know what else to do besides take out at least a small loan. That is never the answer. That's a no. No, 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 no. Our car payment for a decent car. Got a rental car for the week of work, so I don't make a fast decision and trying to give myself time to think about this. But there's no way I can come up with 7 to 10K in 5 days to buy a decent car. Lost on what to do. Move closer to work or get a job closer to where you live. And then get a beater car. You're welcome. So I'm a little ahead of myself here. Obviously, people love to go to higher baby steps, as we are only on baby step 2 at the moment, but I figured I'd ask this now for clarification before I forget by the time we get there. You won't forget. When we finally reach baby step 4, start to invest again, is the 15% total investment for each of us for every account we individually own, are all combined per individual. It's per individual. 15% of gross income per individual. My wife and I both have our Roth IRA and 401ks each. Okay, got both of them. Great. Examples given in the first scenario is 15% in the 401k and then 15% in the Roth IRA. That is not how that works. Or 7.5K in 7.5% in the 401k, and then 7.5 each in the Roth IRA. And that's not the case either. How you do that is you do any match first that's in the 401k. And why do you do that first, Coach Steve? You may ask me. And I will tell you the answer is because that is a match is 100% rate of return, and you can't beat that. So that's what you do first in the 401k. Now you can also see if your employer has a Roth 401k, which would allow you to get that sweet, sweet tax-free growth on the 401k as well. So you can check on that, but if they don't, you would still take the match. You would go up to the match, whatever percentage that is of the 15% of gross, and put that into the 401k, and then they give you the match. And then after that, before you put anything else in the 401k, you max out the Roth IRA. And then after that, if you haven't used up all of your 15% of gross income, then you go back to the 401k and put the rest in there, the non-matching part of it. And so that is how you do that. It is, again, match, Roth, and then traditional 401k. Employer matches 10%, but we don't have a 401k, which sucks. What is he matching the 10% in? Just giving it to you? Handing it to you? First time I've ever been at a place without a Roth 401k. Okay. Do you have a regular 401k? And you just forgot to type Roth in front of that first 401k? Yep. So you would do 10% to get 10% into the traditional 401k. Yeah, okay. So you would, you would put it in the traditional 401k, again, because it is 100% rate of return. So, and then the 5%, or as much as you can, because you do make a lot of money, supposedly, that would go into a Roth IRA. But you make a lot of money, you might not be eligible, but you can do a backdoor Roth. And making that much money, you should probably have an investment professional. But you do have to know what you're doing to make sure they're not putting you in crap investments. So you do want to make sure you're making at least, at bare minimum, what the S&P 500 makes per year, which is average 10%. So if you're not making that much in your investments suck. This T-Mobile customers, I guess there's a special from them from Visible Wireless. Switch now, pay only $15 a month for 5 years. And that's pretty cool to lock that in. And Visible uses Verizon towers. Mint Mobile uses T-Mobile. Actually, T-Mobile bought out Mint Mobile, but they're still doing they're still running it like it's a separate company, and Ryan Reynolds still doing commercials for them. But Mint Mobile does have $15 a month for your first 3 months. After that, they start at, I think, $25 a month, and you do get a discount if you pay for the year. Like mine is $180 for the entire year, and some people have $180 as their monthly payment. So that is nutty. So yeah, you can bring your phone number and phone, save $10 a month for 5 years, guaranteed. There you go. So that's something to look at, especially if you don't have good T-Mobile service, using those T-Mobile towers like I have to do. Fortunately, it's fine here, and it's fine in Columbus, OH. Oh, let's see. Internationals are much better outside of the employer Sponsored ones, yep. So they make you go into, do you have the option to go into any? I know sometimes they will just put you in stuff or say this is what you should go into, and then people don't ever ask about it if they have any other options. So you can check on that if you haven't. I need advice trying to start my baby steps, but I need to get out of my car payment. How do I do that? You sell the car. And even if you're underwater, you would still get rid of, like the other example, you would get rid of the $16,000 loan and replacing it with a $5,000 loan for the amount you're underwater, and that would get you out of debt by $11,000. So that would be how you do that. You sell it and you buy a beater or figure out something else to do until you can afford said beater. Hey everyone, question about sinking funds for multiple big ticket things at once. So that's a no. There shouldn't be multiple big ticket things at once. Cars are paid off. My daughter bought our 2014 Toyota Camry for $1,500. That's a good buy that she got there. Heck of a deal indeed. Sharing our 2018 Volkswagen Atlas that just hit 100,000 miles. And I'm not sure about the longevity of it. We both work from home, so sharing hasn't been a problem except in rare scenarios. But ideally, we'd buy a second vehicle. You don't buy a second vehicle just for rare scenarios. If you do, that can be a beater. Or you could have kept your 2014 Toyota Camry instead. So there aren't any multiple big ticket items. So, I mean, you can start putting a little bit into a car replacement fund for eventually, but you need to be getting the other baby steps done instead of trying to upgrade a car because you basically gave away your Toyota Camry to your daughter. Yeah, except in rare scenarios, yeah, you don't make the rare scenario the reason to do anything. Like you don't get a house just because it has a great big kitchen so you can host Thanksgiving once every few years, or even once a year, or even twice a year. You can rent out a place for cheaper than buying a big house just to do something like that. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Jack. Should I put a timeline to achieve baby step 1? Also, does baby step 3 and baby step 1 go into one account? Baby step 1 becomes baby step 3. The $1,000 is your start to the 3 to 6 months of expenses. So those aren't separate. Those aren't two different things. The timeline to achieve all the baby steps is as soon as possible. You're not spending money on anything else, especially that dumb food that you keep getting served. Robert Jesus, have a good night. I have a financial certification exam. That's at 4 a.m. Take care. 4 a.m. is early for that. So yeah, get some good sleep. Get a good grade on that, sir. Do pass that. Oh, this is the same question here. So great. So more yelling to do with this person. We also built our home 11 years ago. So there are some things that we want to start thinking about: replacing the flooring, furnace, roof, cosmetic, updating, appliances, etc. You bought it 11. You built it 11 years ago. Pay it off. Get to baby step 7 before doing any of that crap. People are so dumb. It's 11 years old. You're not a freaking football stadium where they think they have to have a new one every 11 years. That is so dumb. Oh my goodness gracious. My question is, do you have multiple sinking funds going at a time with maybe smaller deposits, or do you do one at a time and throw more towards it? So if you're on baby step 7, I would pick the one you want to do the most and fund that one completely first without putting anything into the rest of them. So pick one, just like for the poor people that are trying to pay off debt still, even if you're not. There's only limited money, so you cannot do all this stuff all at the same time. You cannot do that. The amount of money is limited, so you pick one. My goodness gracious. And guess how many you pick? Again, if the mortgage is not paid off, you do not do any of this crap. It's only 11 years old. Gosh. That is so dumb. Where are y'all finding cash cards that aren't broken, needing work / reliable? I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Well, first of all, you look for longer than 5 minutes. You look as long as you need to. And you can even look out of the city limits of San Antonio if you have to. But you don't give up as easy as you're giving up. I found mine on cars.com. Only those here will appreciate this post. I paid off my car Friday. I'm so proud of myself. Excellent. Opinions on FPU class, in person or virtual? As of right now, there are no in-person classes near me. Thanks in advance. Well, if you want to go ahead and take it, you can do the virtual one. You still get to meet people and talk to them. And so forth. In my first FPU class, we a few times we spent like an hour after class just chatting sometimes, and most people stayed, and so it was great. But like, especially if like in-person camaraderie with somebody is better for you, you can do that. You can also, because you have the membership for a year, so you can take FPU as many times as you want in that year. So you can take it virtual now and then take it in person later if one shows up anywhere near you that you can drive to. But otherwise, you can go ahead and take it virtual. Excuse me. Little agua. Said dumb too many times, so it makes me thirsty. I think I need to get like one of those sports cup, like the adult version of the sippy cup with the straw. I think that's the way the people on podcasts do it. That way you don't hear the crinkly of the bottle, is what that's called. A bottle. Sounds like I've been drinking from another kind of bottle. I have not. All right, this next question or statements or whatever. We haven't been following the steps for, well, a while, and have found ourselves with some debts. How did that happen? Strange stuff like that happens if you don't follow the steps, doesn't it? We didn't have any savings. Everything always seemed to go to minimums and no real tread happening, obviously. Husband made a decision for our family that is hard in the moment, but it's just a drop in the bucket, so to say, and our family will be better off when we are done. I see. Just because I'm so proud of us, and I really don't feel like I can share anywhere else. $1,000 saved, 3 credit cards paid off, and we don't have any vehicle payments. That didn't work quite as well as the other one did. Our student loans, and we are renting. It's all credit card type stuff and some medical. It's hard to see that money come in and then fly away. I want to run away. I want to fly away. Little pitchy dog. Not going to Hollywood, but knowing we are actually making progress to become debt-free is such a great feeling. Absolutely. Maybe step 2, it's getting done. But, so how would that go? Let's see. She's paying off her debt. Yeah, she's getting too done. That is, who is that? Pretty fly for a white guy. I can't remember who did that. Baby step 2, Flare just paid off our phones and switched to Visible from Verizon. This will save me $140 a month and give me better service. Now on to paying off my car, which should be done by the end of December. Do you remember? The 21st night of December. Getting closer to the finish line. Only 3 more debts to pay off after my car. It has been a lot of work and sacrifice, but it's already paying off. Excellent. Oh, and that's it. Oh, that's it. All right. Might have to check the Reddit. Oh, let's see. Jack. I need to go to the opticians and dentist. I don't have my baby step 1 done yet. If I delay it, I will have baby step 1 done next month. Should I postpone my options and dental appointments until then? Yes, I would. Unless you have a dental or vision emergency, then yes, that is exactly what I would do. I would get your $1,000 emergency fund first. Did I? No, I don't have that open. What time is it? Did I do an hour yet? Let's see. 21. Reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and we sort by new, and let's see how many. Hopefully there's a lot in there. Hashtag boundaries. Paging Dr. Cloud. Paging Dr. Cloud. Worth it. GPT. Book for teen. Oh, that sounds familiar. Happy retirement. Jason Kelsey. To buy or not buy in-laws house in Hawaii. Yeah, see, that's not a lot of questions at all. My goodness. Might be doing, on Tuesday, might be having to do some more Facebook questions. Muted connection, 7167, retirement account. So, becoming a large sum of money in January, February. Want to retire by becoming a stay-at-home mom in 5 years or less after getting this money. I've done the math, and my husband and I will need $3 million in retirement funds to keep our lifestyle. You could go down in the lifestyle as well if it's important to you enough to retire in 5 years or less, or fewer, rather. 5 years or fewer is what the correct one is. Let's say we have no retirement yet. Yeah, that's not going to happen probably. Well, it depends on, I guess it depends on how much the large sum of money is. My husband plans to continue working until 65 and another 30 years. Oh, okay. Great. Oh, so you trying to, becoming stay-at-home mom, that's not really retiring. Okay, so you said retire and it's in quotes, but if you're a stay-at-home mom, then you're watching the kids instead of daycare. So let's see, through me. To get your lifestyle. So in 30 years, you can get 3 million. No problem. You got to do the baby steps first, though, and get all the debt paid, non-mortgage debt paid off, and then all of the full emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses before you start investing, though, still. Let's see, husband continuing working. I know about IRAs, but can only put $7,000 a year in a rate. What kind of account should I use for the 3 million? You hope you'll make 3 million to be able to grow it, but also use it without penalties. Well, it's a thing called a brokerage account, which is not a tax-advantaged account. So you pay taxes on it, on the money that you put in there, the contributions. You've already paid taxes on that with your income. And the growth, you have to pay that as well on those brokerage accounts, because that's not like a 401k, which is You don't pay taxes on the contributions, or a Roth IRA where that's you don't pay taxes on the growth, which is much better, especially after 30 freaking years of growth. Let's see. Thank you. Note that $3 million will be left after debt-free, home build, and a few purchases. So you're saying husband and I will need $3 million in retirement. The $3 million will be left after debt-free, home build, and few purchases. Does that mean that's a large sum of money you're getting? So I'm confused because you said you will need $3 million in retirement. And I mean, that $3 million can make $3 million easy. If all that's invested, that should be doubling in about 7 years. Doubling it. And so you can certainly do that, but of course you do put the money down the baby steps first before you would be investing more than 15% of your gross income. So a little confused there on that. As far as if that amount is $3 million, or that's just what you need/want in retirement. Oh, and that's all. That's all already. Oh, slow. Oh, no. I forgot. We go backwards. Let's see. There we are. Bankrate article about paying off debt. Bankrate, you can look. I recommend looking there for the best rates, or the rates you should be looking for locally, that kind of thing, for high yield savings account. And so I thought the people might enjoy the article about top 10 myths about paying off debt from MSN. All right. Love my library too. Need book for teen to introduce basics. The Total Money Makeover is not hard to understand. A 16-year-old can understand every term in that book. Mr. Ramsey does not use college words or financial industry words or even financial industry standards, thank goodness. He does not use any of that. He explains it to you like an old guy from Tennessee would explain something to you. And so it's very easy to understand even for 16-year-olds, but he may more relate to George's book instead, because George puts some, I guess, millennial stuff in there, and snark, and the kids love the snark. So you could try that as well. You could also try the high school curriculum, which is the Foundations in Finance curriculum, and that is in over 40% of American high schools. Obviously, it needs to be in 100% of American high schools for sure. Let's see. 16-year-old introduced basic. She is bright, academic, and self-disciplined reader. She will understand every word of it, promise. But she may want the George book instead, or you can get that curriculum, that high school curriculum. You can buy that as well. I'll be paying her to read and give me a book report on it to motivate her. Thank you for any input. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can Total Money Makeover. That was just updated this past May. George's book is still fairly new, I think less than a year old. And it's called Breaking Free from Broke. Or you can get that Foundations in Finance curriculum. You are welcome, Jack. Writing while sad? Oh, that's not fun. Unless you're trying to write a sad movie or something like that, maybe. Ramsey GPT. Is this like Chat GPT? All right, here's a Dave Ramsey rant with the word honey sprinkled in. Listen, honey. Honey is basically that's what you say when you feel sorry for a person. Like because they're being dumb. And so that's what you would do. That's like Southern. And so that's what Dave does. Let's see. Listen, honey. I don't know who needs to hear this today, but debt is not your friend. That's true. You're out here swiping that credit card like it's free money. And honey, let me tell you something. It's not okay. I don't think the Chat GPT would pick up on that nuance of Dave's. I think they would stick more to the fact. So let's see. Is it just you just going off on and overdoing honey or something like that? Yeah, it seems like the Ramsey advice, but just throwing in more honeys than Dave put. So whatever you meant by doing that, whatever thing that accomplished in your life, I hope you're not sad anymore, at least for putting that on there. Crotchy $dollar app. Are there any apps? Let's hashtag third grade. Come on now. Similar to every dollar that are in the bloody EU. Since every dollar is only US based, just wondering if anybody. No, that's getting into Australian there. I always do that. Just wondering if anybody from EU has found any good apps that are similar. Trying to do Lara Croft there. That wasn't that good either. But I think YNAB, you need a budget. I think that might be international, maybe. Don't know. Spreadsheet works everywhere, though. Sweaty Seat 576, is it worth it? Is what worth it? I don't currently have a retirement portfolio yet at 43 years old. All right. I mean, that's late. That's late. But better start it at 43 than 44, or at least start the baby steps at 43 rather than 44. If you're breathing, it's not too late. I currently earn T-bill rates of 5.43% annual percentage yield on my savings with the company I'm with. There's no limit on how much I can deposit or withdraw. Yeah. There's also no fees at all and can be liquidated for emergencies in minutes. Sure, the money is also FDIC insured and compounds weekly. This is a lot of justification station for something. And so making twice that much in the market would be worth being in the market. Currently, I only have about $6K saved and am investing $3,000 per month or $750 per week into this account. My question is whether or not it's even worth looking at other investment avenues. Thank you. Yes, there is, because the S&P 500 makes on average almost twice as much as that. So, and especially here lately, it's been making a lot better than that. So you're leaving money on the table. I mean, yours is definitely consistent, but you do pay the penalty of making less while you are have that consistency. And you know that's more for more conservative. So guess what? You work till 65. You still got 22 more years in the market. That's plenty of time. So you don't need to worry about that. So yeah, you're not retiring early though. Sorry. Asleep combination 26. Manage funds fees. Been lurking here a bit and have been wanting to post this question to the group for a while. We are in our mid 40s, have a 401k from my current employer, which I'm contributing 8% with a 4% match. My wife will get a pension. I had a 401k from previous company that I rolled into an IRA a few years ago that I no longer contribute to. There is about $350K in there, and we're invested in managed funds through Edward Jones. Great. The IRA seems to be doing well, but we do have to pay fees, which look to be about $350 a month. On 350K, I don't know exactly what that would be. So that's 1%. a month then of the basis, if there's 350K in there. So how long have you had that going? I mean, if you have had that for 7 years, it should be doubled, and there should be seven. Oh, if it's only 350K in there now, though, so it hasn't been. So it hasn't been that long, probably. So you'd have to do the math on that, but um, generally you would be doing that to get that 4% match, where you have to put in 8, but you still need to do 7% somewhere. And so you can do it to that. You can do it with a Roth IRA. If you don't have one, if this is just a regular IRA, you can open a Roth IRA and put money into that, as long as you aren't over the salary limit, income limit for that. Let's see, do I pay for pay? I'm paying this because I trust that the experts there will manage the funds in a way that will give me growth without too much volatility and risk. Well, depending on how old you are, you don't want to be so conservative. You don't want to be conservative like you're retiring in 10 years if you're retiring in 30. So that's being too conservative too early. Paying a monthly fee for managed fund service, a good idea? Yes, it is, if it's making you at least 10%. At bare minimum, it should be managed funds should be making you more than 10% average per year. And so, I mean, you can check those fees and see compare that against the index fund fees to see what the difference is. But like all my managed funds make enough on top of, if you take out the extra expense ratio, it makes more. It still makes more than just doing like an index fund. So I can afford my return on it, can afford to pay that extra because it's still worth more money overall. Oh, I went over now. You doing too many questions now. Just got too into it and just kept going. Alrighty. So again, upcoming streams this week is Ramsey Show After Show, and that's Tuesdays and Thursdays through September, and that's approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, when the Ramsey Show leaves YouTube and goes exclusively to their network app. So youtube.com/coachstevemoney. Playlist for financial stuff is this, answering your financial questions. And this is episode number 125 of that, and Ramsey Show After Show 393 of those. So there's plenty of me calling ideas and people dumb for doing those ideas. Way more than you should want, probably. But listen to all of it, obviously. And of course, the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. And so do give those a listen, or if you are so inclined. Thanks to everybody watching. We have more people watching than is commenting. Next time, say hi. Or say hi now. It's not too late. I'm still going to do some more plugs. Let's close off the... Fix that first. And then restart the scrolling plugs so I can read them to cheat. Once more, I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got any problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney, or you can email me about questions about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, donations can go to CashApp, $CoachSteveMoney, or a Walmart gift card. Once again, to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Expanded the resolution recently, and so that's why I got to reach more now. Upcoming streams, of course, answering your financial questions. That's the weekend stream, Saturdays and Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, unless there's a Ohio State Buckeyes or Washington Commanders game on. And in that case, I'll do the weekend stream in the afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Ramsey Show After Show, again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, at least through the rest of this month and probably the first part of October as well. 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be Ramsey Show Refugee Chat streams. And I'll try to have some kind of content for that. We played Family Feud on the last one, and that worked out pretty well. And again, that's 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time when the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends, so that they can exclusively do the last hour, which is that's radio hour, and it's only about 40 some minutes, 42 minutes or something like that of video, and that is only on the Ramsey Network app. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching, whether you did it live or you do it after the fact. Thank you so very much. Again, very humbled by any attention you guys pay me at all. Much appreciated. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.